Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over what a master's is actually like and my experience of it so far. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting so much more uni content, especially revolving masters, so make sure you follow to get more up-to-date videos, and yeah, and also comment if you have any video suggestions because I love to hear your feedback. So I'm going to start off with the course and what the master's course actually sort of entails and what the step up is kind of like from undergrad. Little disclaimer that obviously this is based off my own personal experience, and obviously this might be different for different universities and different undergrads going to different postgrad degrees. So in general, I found the step up quite considerable. I think it's probably, I'd compare it to the step up from first to second year. I think that's a pretty big step. To be honest, I thought that was a big step in my undergrad, and I'd describe this as very similar because it's just sort of like a different way of working. It's a different level of expectation that I don't necessarily think we're always prepped for, but it is definitely a big step up. I found that the course is more academic. They use more complex theories, which obviously is expected. However, like some of these things that we're doing is like very, very complicated, and I do find like I have to spend quite a bit more time than I did in my undergrad to understand things. It's obviously more academically based, and I think they're almost like trying to prep us to maybe do a PhD. So we do have like quite a lot of intense things about like how to do a dissertation and how to like conduct market research, which I think is helpful. However, I really am not doing the whole dissertation route side of things, so I'm actually managing to cop out of it by doing a study abroad for 3 months instead, which I'm really, really excited to do because I get to go to Australia. But yeah, if you're doing a dissertation, this is actually quite helpful. Just I don't feel like I massively need it, and I do find it a little bit boring, but it's okay. In terms of the workload, now let me tell you, it feels like there is so much more work. And I don't think, as I said, it's like kind of more complex, the material, like sort of harder to understand. And as I said, I do spend a bit more time like trying to get to grips with like what is actually sort of happening. But there's also like so much more work set. And I'm trying to work out whether that's because it's a master's or whether it's because my uni is doing hybrid learning. So I'm just going to run through a structure of sort of like for one module, what I would be expected to do. So we have this thing called On Demand, which is sort of like prep material for the theme of the week. Normally we'd have 2 to 3 videos on this, each half an hour. We'd have to go through those, write our own notes from them, and then we've got 2 activities that we need to do after. This often involves like academic reading or reading certain articles or case studies or things like that, and then answering some questions on them. After this, I would then go to a lecture. This lecture is normally in person, which is really, really great. It often is between 1 to 2 hours. Again, different sort of material, so it's not the same slides, but it's along the same sort of theme for the week. Again, this is really helpful, but if I miss a lecture, then it's kind of a pain to catch up because they don't always post the lecture slides up, which is slightly annoying. Then we'll end up having a seminar online. This is normally on Zoom. I do find like the Zoom seminars just a bit weird because I feel like people just don't engage as much, and it's not as great, to be perfectly honest. I definitely prefer in-person things, and I think this is very much shown through the fact that when I go to my tutorials, there is so much more engagement, people are so much more with it, and everyone's actually trying to contribute. So yeah, as I say, I don't love the online stuff. I don't think it's the most helpful because I don't feel as engaged, but the tutorials, as I say, are very, very helpful. You get one-to-ones with your lecturer, and they can like really help you understand like certain things. Very, very helpful for answering certain questions, so I do find that very, very helpful. In terms of the assignments, I would say they're very similar to my undergrad. I think a lot of like the reports and things that I have to do, I did business as my undergrad and I'm doing digital marketing as my postgrad, so I feel like the assignments are very similar. They're kind of report based, there's group works, there's individual work, and I would say that it's structured in almost a very similar way, but there is just a lot more of them. I think I've got 7 assignments due in January or something. It's just going to be ridiculous. I'm literally just going to be working all throughout Christmas, which is a bit of a bummer because I have no exams. I think I'm going to end up having 2 weeks off after, including my reading week, and then semester 2 will start. So what is being a master's student actually like? I've actually found it really nice because I've made a lot of new friends. I did actually, even though I did my undergrad here at Surrey, I went onto my master's course and I didn't know anyone because for some reason nobody went and did a master's. For some reason nobody's decided to go onto the course that I'm doing, so I had to make new friends, and that was really nice because I've got a lot of new friends from different universities, which was really nice. They've all come from very different places and we've all just come to one in Surrey, and I really love that. Everyone's so friendly. I find that there's a lot of potentially older people on the course. There's a lot of people who are maybe sponsored by their company to come, which is very interesting. I think that the level of engagement is definitely a lot higher. I think the level of intelligence is a lot higher. There's a lot of people willing to contribute and engage with the lecture, which I actually found so helpful and so refreshing, because my undergrad I feel like people just sort of sat there and slept. So it's really nice to actually feel like people are really interested in the subject, and it makes you more interested in the subject and want to get involved. I'd say my course is very international as well, which is really amazing. You get people from like all over the globe. It's so cool. I was in group works with people from like China. There's a high percentage of people from India. I've got a really lovely friend from Cyprus. So there's just a whole range of different people that you meet, and I love meeting people from different countries and different cultures. So I think that that's again a really exciting experience on the side of your masters. I'd say the only downside to doing a masters is the fact that I am just going out so much less. I have so much less time to be social and go out. I try to limit myself so that I only go out on a Wednesday night, which is the sports night, because obviously I'm a sporty person, so I'd prefer to do that. Wednesdays are also the main night at Surrey, so it's really nice to go out and see like everyone that I know, have a bit of a break from work, and then just immediately get back to it. My problem that I think I found with being a master's student is I am growing older and my tolerance is just not what it was used to be. So I find on a Thursday I'm just completely wiped out. I am hungover, I am dead for the entire day. Luckily all my lectures are online that day, but it does mean that I feel like I'm just really unproductive on a Thursday. So I really try to cut down on my drinking and not drink too much, not get so hammered every single time, and then yeah, as I say, try and limit myself to once or twice a week, because otherwise if I went out as much as I did in first year I would never ever get any work done. I'd be so behind. Anyway guys, that's just sort of a quick little overview of how I'm finding my masters at the moment. It is busy, it is quite stressful, you do need to be organised. I really do enjoy it. I think it's great, but it is a lot more work than I was expecting. I think it's going to be a really good thing to have done though. I think it's a very employable thing at the moment, especially with there being very limited grad jobs, a lot of undergrads, so I'm very excited to have a postgrad degree as well, which will be a really great thing on my CV. If you have any more questions about doing a master's, then do leave them down below. I will try and get back to you on those, and if you have also any video recommendations or suggestions, then also let me know those. Those are great. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!